Last week I talked about why I think it is so important to grow, and then I shared some reasons that people don't grow. And I realized that I forgot to post that here on LinkedIn, so whoops, sorry about that. Anyway, I'll do a quick review of what I shared last week. See, a lot of folks have this mindset that's like, you know what? I'm good. I don't really have this burning desire to grow. And I shared a story about my friend who's an artist that when she took this new watercolor class, they were encouraging her that she didn't have to paint to fill in the whole background. So I showed this card last week. Here's a beautiful picture that she had painted. But when I was telling her about it on the phone, she's sent me the picture of what she's actually done in the class. And this is what it looks like. And you can tell she didn't fill in all of the white space around the background. She just left it there. Now, when she started taking that class, she didn't do it with the intent that, oh, I really want to completely grow and change how I'm painting. But when she was exposed to that new way of doing it, it really opened her eyes and she did grow. So initially I thought I would talk about a couple of other reasons that people stay stuck, but I'm gonna just do one today and I'll save the other one for next week, which, just to let you know, next Friday will be my final Friday's Perspective. Been doing it for 3.5 years, so it's a little weird to be stopping that, but moving in a new direction. And at the end today, I'm gonna tell you the name of my membership community that I am launching and when that's actually gonna happen. All right, so here's another reason that I hear often that people don't think growth is important. It's one of these, what does it really mean to grow anyway as a person? I'm not exactly sure I know what that is. Well, I kind of call that the knowledge blind spot, the one that says I don't really know how to grow. So I'm gonna tell 3 short stories that illustrate that, and maybe one will describe you. When my oldest son was, I don't know, probably 2nd grade, I decided I would give him piano lessons, and he thought it'd be a good idea to learn. Well, I will just tell you that it didn't take long before he kind of maxed out on what I could teach him, and he really didn't want to listen to mom anymore. Anyway, so we ended up getting a piano teacher for him. That was great until she moved away. Now, at that point, we could have just said, well, sorry, that's all the piano for you. But we didn't do that. No, we found another piano teacher. And over the next probably 12 years, many different people came into his life to help him learn to play the way he does today. But if I had stopped where I had maxed out on what I could teach him, he wouldn't be doing what he is today, which is, well, he plays amazingly well and he actually accompanies professionally. See, we'll do that for our kids. We'll find the teacher, the team, we'll pay for the lessons, we'll drive them back and forth to practices, rehearsals, whatever it takes, because, hey, we want them to grow and develop that new skill, or to be around people that love doing what they're doing. But somehow, when it comes to us, and I'll just say, I will speak from a woman's perspective because I am a woman, a lot of times as women, we kind of put what we might want to do in terms of growing ourselves sort of on the back burner, like maybe it's not that important, or maybe I don't even know exactly how or what it is that I want to do. All right, so here's the second story. Yeah, I know that you can put yourself on the back burner because I did it for years. It was shortly after my divorce, and this friend called and asked if my daughter would like to be in a musical. And I said, well, no, she's already gone back to school. And I was telling some of my friends about it, and they said, well, Amy, why don't you call her back and tell her that you'll do it? And I was like, oh, I can't do that. And they're like, well, why not? You say all the time that you love to do this. So finally I did. I called her back. And that one step of being in that musical just completely reignited this passion that I had. I mean, I had done that when I was in high school and college. Now, could I have done that when my kids were younger and at home? I could. It would have been difficult. But what I realize now, looking back, is when I did step into that and started doing something for me, my kids loved it. They encouraged it, and they thought it was great to see that their mom was doing something that actually made her happy and fulfilled her. So here's why I think everybody needs to be growing because you all have people watching you. And I guarantee you, if you have kids, they are absolutely watching you. They want to see if you really do what you say. So it's one thing to say, oh yeah, you should try new things and get out there and, get uncomfortable. But if we don't actually do that for ourselves, then I think we're sending a very mixed and muddled message. It's kind of like, oh, well, do what I say, but not what I do or don't do. All right, so here's the third story. I had these dahlias in pots on my deck a few years ago. They looked great for about 2 weeks. And then after that, no matter what I did, I could not get them to bloom again. Very disappointing. So that fall, I just put the clay pots in the garage and I thought, well, I'll reuse the pots next year. So the following spring, the mulch is delivered and I remember those clay pots. I'm like, I'll use those to hold the tarp down over the mulch. Well, a couple of weeks, I go out there and there's this sprig of green coming up through each of those clay pots. Now, a dahlia is an annual. It's like a one and done. So I was really surprised and I thought, okay, I don't think they're gonna grow, but kind of on a lark, I planted them out underneath this redbud tree that we have in our backyard. I didn't expect much. Boy, was I wrong. Here's what they did. Yeah, they bloomed like that all summer long. They were gorgeous. And one day as I'm out there looking at them, it hit me, they needed to be in the right environment. And it wasn't those clay pots. They needed to be out in the yard. And it just struck me that that's so the way it is with people. We need to be in the right environment to grow. And so that's what I am getting ready to create. That environment for women who realize there's more, they're not exactly sure what or how to grow, but they want it. They know that they can only change themselves, and they know that it really helps to have other people around them who are going to encourage and support and even, challenge those limiting beliefs that we all have. Because believe me, we all have blind spots that keep us stuck. All right, so here it is. Drum roll. I am thrilled to announce Women Growing on Purpose is going to officially launch on Monday, July 13th. And so in preparation for that, every day next week, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m., I'm going to be going live on my Facebook page, telling a little bit more about what this growth environment is going to look like, and then inviting women to get involved. So if that's you, I hope you'll join me, or if you know a woman that you think might need to hear this, then I hope you will encourage her. And I will tell you that, next Friday is my final Friday's Perspective. I've been doing this for 3.5 years, so I feel a little emotional that I'm gonna just stop, but I know that it's time to do something new. That's evidence that I know I am growing. So here is, I'll call this a fundamental truth. You can change and not grow, but you cannot grow and not change. That's my perspective this Friday. I'm Amy Barge, living large and growing on purpose. See you Monday.